Hello, I'm Elizabeth Webb, your yoga lifestyle coach. Today we are doing yoga to release stress in the shoulders. So let's begin by releasing stress in the shoulders by allowing the elbows to feel like they're heavy. Shoulder blades squeeze together and they draw down the back. And then we press the palms together. Feel the pectoral muscles opening up. And of course, we're doing yoga, so we're breathing deeply, fully, and completely. And we're going to clasp the fingers. And as we clasp the fingers, keeping the shoulders back, down, and together in the back, we're going to extend the arms forward and press the palms forward. Feel as though shoulders are staying right where they are as we lift the arms up. Shoulders go down, hands go up, arms are long, and then we release the arms behind our back. We find that hand clasp, squeeze the shoulder blades together, extend the arms away, and then coordinating this with our breath, inhale, and exhale, extend the arms. Inhale, we're going up, and then as we're exhaling, we're coming down. We're going to try to lift the arms up behind us as we inhale, and then as we exhale, come around to the front. And now let's think about our hands, and let's do an opposite hand, and that opposite hand clasp. After 30 years of doing yoga, it still feels funny to clasp the hands in the opposite direction, so find that for you. Exhale, extend the arms. Inhale, reach. Let the belly be strong. And now the challenge is to find, that opposite hand clasp behind your back. Lift up, inhale. Okay, one more time. Finding the opposite hand clasp. Keeping ourselves in balance, even to the simplicity of clasping our hands. So one last challenge, find that opposite hand clasp behind the back, keeping the shoulders relaxed. And good job. Now let's sit with one leg straight out in front of us. And as we extend one leg, wait and feel both sit bones with the same amount of pressure on the ground. And then extend the heel away from you. Think about the sit bone going back behind you. And then we're creating that length, that strength in the straight leg. And to reach over on a side bend, we can take the back of the hand and bring it to the back, to the inside of the leg. And then the sternum turns towards the bent knee, and we extend and reach forward. So can you see the hips back here? And with the hips, for yourself, be aware that typically, sometimes we might be so tight that one hip would be on the ground and then we're rolled off of the other hip. So we want both sit bones to have the same amount of pressure. And then as we fold forward, to help us reach forward, we can actually take this hand and press it down as though we're pressing this leg down. And that can open up the ribs. And let's be here for 2 more breaths. Nose to shin. Nice straight line, if you can, with your spine. Okay, let's take a look at that on the other side. So now, as we switch our legs, extending that opposite leg, and then giving the chance for this bent knee to release down to the ground, lengthen through the straight leg. Feel the heel going forward, the toes coming towards you, so that's the flexion in the foot, and same amount of pressure on, there it goes, on both sit bones. Okay, so now to help move dynamically into this pose, the back of this arm is helping the sternum come in alignment with the bent knee. So let's, oh yes, engage the abdominal muscles so that the heart and the knee are in alignment. And then we can press down on that knee, opening up the side of the ribs. We don't want to collapse the lower ribs. Oh, look how far I can go if I collapse. Oh yeah. Oh, I heard yoga is so relaxing. Oh, come on, let's relax during deep relaxation. But I like to be extremely active during the yoga routine. So I'm encouraging you to engage your abdominal muscles. Feel the lift from the ribs to the hip. And feel, of course, a nice stretch through here, but feel that strength through here. Trying to, well, I am a little curved because I have an ego, I have a desire, I want to get closer to the ground, so then I'm compensating the integrity of the pose. So I'm challenging you to have a nice straight leg, think about your spine straight, bending, reaching, lengthening through your core. Aware of the breath. Okay, beautiful work. Let's come up to standing. And as we come up to standing, I like the challenge of, I'm still working on this one, coming from a spinal roll and coming up. I had to help with my arms. Follow along, and maybe in a year or so, I'll be able to come up to standing from that rolling position without the use of arms, and maybe you too will also be able to follow along with that. Mountain posture. Mountain pop. Think of a mountain. Sturdy, strong, tall, dynamic, strong, strength. So the feet are pressing down into the ground, opening the legs, and feeling that length through the legs. And then we're engaging the core, and the sacrum releases down to the ground, and the sternum reaches up. So as the sternum reaches up and the sacrum releases downward, then we can feel that engagement of the core. Whew. And it might help to take a deep breath in, blow out all the air, and then with all the air out, we can engage the belly a little bit stronger, and then we breathe, and we maintain that strong core. Mountain posture, releasing the shoulders, because palms are facing forward, and we're releasing the shoulders because the arms, the fingers, the hands are reaching down angularly towards the ground. And as you reach the arms long, oh, yes, you can feel that release. And we're going to try to keep that release in the neck and the shoulders throughout the entire routine today. So please follow along. In our pyramid pose, we'll take that right foot forward. And this is probably your left leg forward, so you can mirror me, or I can mirror you. So if your left leg is forward, then your right leg is back. And we're trying to line the hips up towards the front of the mat. Both legs are strong. They're trying to come towards each other. Back leg is trying to come forward. Forward leg is trying to come back. There's some nice engagement in the legs. And think of a pyramid. What does a pyramid look like? A triangle. So then that would be forehead and nose to shin. And then we'd be a triangle, a pyramid. But we're not going to compromise. Look at me! Oh my God! My shin and forehead and nose are touching. But now I don't have a straight leg and I don't have a straight spine. So we're going to stay strong, okay? So the legs stay long and strong. The spine, the abdominal muscles stay strong. So the sacrum is extending downward and the sternum is extending upward, and that's engaging the abdominal muscles. So I'm going to do this. Can I use the word wrong? There's no such thing as wrong in yoga. So I'm going to do this wrong. I'm going to collapse my belly. Now I'm all squishy and bulgy, and hey, I got some fat there. And then I'm all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you to do this differently. Legs stay straight and strong. So does the torso. And then we bend right at the hip hinge. Now we feel a nice maybe release or opening or stretch in the back of the leg. I'm feeling it in my back calf as well. And then I'm engaging the abdominal muscles to keep the sacrum and sternum working away from each other. Okay, let's switch legs. So, oh, that's beautiful work. And as we come up, let's bring the back leg forward, switch legs. The other leg comes back. So same thing. It's not a very wide stance. And one foot can be on the outer edge of the mat, and the other foot can be on the outer edge of the mat. And so again, this is our goal with straight leg and straight spine. So we're coming up here. Oh, yes. We're engaging the belly, but we're not doing a duck butt because then the belly is just stretched. And that is a technical yoga term, duck butt. Hope I made you laugh. And so that means the sacrum is heavy, sternum up. Oh, yes, there it is. So think of our core. Think of when you eat an apple. When we eat an apple, we have the core left. So in this pose, we're using our core, the front, the sides, even the back muscles. We're using the obliques, the rectus abdominis. We're using the transverse abdominis to release the sternum down, using that rectus abdominis to create that length in the sternum. And when the sacrum is down, that transverse abdominis muscle stays engaged. And are we releasing the shoulders? So when the belly is strong, when the core is engaged, the sternum, the chest is supported, and the shoulders can release. Oh boy, there. Now I hope you too are aware of sensations. I hope you are feeling every muscle vibrate with vitality because of the effort that we're putting forth. Remember, I said we will relax later. And now let's move into goddess. In goddess pose, we're bringing the knees above the ankles. So if you need to bring your feet in a little closer so that okay, where do I need to be? And so strong inner work to open up. And oops, I'm not using the belly muscles. So let's make sure we've got that core strength. What do we need to do? We have the duck butt, right? We have the stretched belly. Okay, where's the engagement? The engagement is the transverse abdominis, releasing the sacrum. We know that's the triangle bone behind the hips. And then the sternum, extending up. So engage the abdominal muscles, the obliques. And then we can breathe through the ribs. And release the shoulders. And goddess pose, the elbows are in alignment with the shoulders. Today, because we're focusing on releasing, letting go, I'm suggesting that the elbows reach down diagonally towards the ground. And then we flex the wrists. Yes, and feel that release even in the neck and the shoulders. Okay, standing forward bend. Here we're lengthening, straightening the legs. We're bending at the hips. And depending on where you are on your yoga journey, will be dependent on, do you keep your hands maybe at the crease on the top of the legs? And as we push our arms straight, that helps to engage the belly to straighten the spine. And maybe we're staying right here. Maybe we're able to keep the legs straight and find the ground. But we're not hanging on the ground. We're working the belly. So again, the sacrum is extending back, sternum extending forward, and oh yeah, feel the breath increase because we're working really hard. Lengthen through the spine, and as we lengthen through the spine and neck, gives us that little chin tuck as we have that length going from the tailbone all the way through the top of the head. And then if we find the ground, we're gently aware of the ground. We're not doing this. Oh yeah, yoga, so relaxing. Woo! Let's stay strong during our practice. Oh, yes. And from our wide-legged forward bend, we're going to move this way. And we're just going to pivot into a lunge. So we'll take this leg, take your left leg, and maybe bring it to the outer edge of the left mat. And then your right leg could be close to the outer edge of the right mat. And we'll stay nice and high with this leg. And the hands are on the ground, but we're not just collapsing onto the ground. We're strong. So we're lengthening. We don't need the ground. We're just having awareness of the ground. Because the core is strong. That sacrum, again, is going back, sternum going forward. All right, so we're going to stand up. And as we stand up, we're going to bring this back foot down onto the ground. In Warrior One, usually the arms are all the way up overhead. We're releasing the shoulders by bringing the elbows down towards the ground. In Warrior One, I like to think about the hips trying to face the front of the mat. So I got to press more into the back leg. I got to straighten that back leg. And as I press the back leg back, this forward hip begins to come forward. And as I bring this bent knee forward, we think about driving this hip back. So isn't that like oxymoron? So it's all right. And hands, fingertips up, and then proud warrior. Warrior two. Extend the arms. Let's do them down at an angle so we can really be, oh yes. So we can really be aware of the release in the shoulders. So today, as a yoga therapist, as your yoga lifestyle coach, I'm coaching you just to release the shoulders. Our next episode, we're going to therapeutically get inside of those shoulders even more. But first, I want you to have an understanding, a feeling, an experience of releasing the shoulders in Proud Warrior. Warrior 3, we're going to balance. Back arm cartwheels up to meet the front arm. We extend the arms forward and the leg comes up and back. Today, however, I'm encouraging jet airplane arms so that we release the shoulders. We take that straight leg and we make it longer. So we touch something that's an inch behind us. So we reach. That's so different than, okay, I gotta hold this back leg up. Oh my God, yoga's so hard. Now let's extend the leg and we find ease within the discomfort. Can I say it that way? And then King Dancer, we bend the back leg and find it. And instead of bringing the arm all the way up, release the shoulder, extend the arm forward, and let's open up this chest with the hand that's holding the ankle. And we take the leg and we extend the leg back. Doing our drishti, we have our eyes focused on one spot. And if you're looking at me, you're noticing that I'm not moving my eyes. Oh, now I thought about you moving your eyes and I lost balance, which takes us into our next pose. And as we extend that leg back, we're in our triangle pose. And all 10 toes are trying to point towards the right. So the back foot is try to see if it's possible. Oops, engage the core so we don't lose our balance. So the back foot, rotating, 45-degree angle, front foot straight on, and hips open, core strong, arms down at an angle, and we're going to reach. So we're reaching with our core. And the arm comes up. And then to rotate our triangle, we switch arms. The arm comes down, the other arm comes up. And then from here, we're going to do that routine on the other leg. So we'll start with our wide-legged forward fold. And as we take our legs nice and wide, we have an awareness of where the ground is or where the legs are. And then we pivot around. And as we pivot around, front knee above the ankle, back leg is strong, and we're opening up, arms, fingertips up, and then Proud Warrior, we pivot and we lengthen through the arms. And again, I'm encouraging you to release the neck and shoulders by pointing downward. And warrior 3, cartwheel the arm, and let's come up. Find your spot to look at, and lengthen through the back leg. Lengthen the arms out like jet airplane wings. Breathe. Be aware of the belly. So the sacrum is coming down, sternum is up, hips are parallel, leg is strong back there. Both legs are strong. Arms are long and strong as well. Breath is full. And then King Dancer, we bend, hold, line up the knees, hip width apart, drive the leg backward, extend the arm forward, feel that chest opening up as that arm goes along for the ride and the leg is doing all the work. Stay balanced. Its core is strong to keep the balance. We're getting taller. Since I started doing yoga, I got a ½ an inch taller. And then from here, we're do our triangle on the other side. And as we do the triangle, big step, all 10 toes pointing forward, arms diagonally down, because you know what our focus is today. You said it, shoulders. So we're not bringing the arm all the way up, we're opening the shoulder. And then as we revolve, we pivot. So this arm comes down, this arm comes up. Well, let's bring it back. And then I fell into our next pose, the bridge pose. And bridge pose, we're lying on our back. And as we lie on our back, we're bending the knees and the arms. Oh, yes. The shoulders are released because the arms are reaching for the toes. And then we pivot through the spine, through the hips. And we bring ourselves up. Oh, what a wonderful release. What a wonderful release for the shoulders as we lengthen through the head and neck. Feel that release. Oh yes, through both shoulders. You guys did a good job today. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Your Yoga Lifestyle Coach. Thank you for allowing me to coach you through this episode, yoga to release stress in the shoulders. And now we get to relax. Now we do nothing. Now we release and let go. Now we sink.